Hello, hello, and welcome to Some More Thoughts. I think that there's some good coming out of this coronavirus thing, and that is that it's going to cement families. I think it's going to cement families. I remember years and years ago when I rented a flat from a boy in Edinburgh, and he didn't have a table. He didn't have a kitchen table, and I thought, oh my God, how do you eat? And of course, he ate on a tray in front of the television set. But I'm hoping that now that we have this enforced isolation, that more families are eating together at a table. Because as I recall in my childhood, the table, the kitchen table, was the center of all activity. I don't think we left it. I don't think we ever really left it. We would wake up in the morning and get dressed, and then we would have breakfast, and then we would sit over coffee and talk about what we were going to do with our day. And my mother would plan the meals that she was going to make because that was just about all my mother ever thought of, was what she was going to cook and what she didn't dare eat because she was always on a diet. My mother used to sit and watch us eat with hungry eyes while she ate grapefruit. I remember that. But we would sit around the kitchen table and we would laugh, and then my Aunt Sunny would come in and she would tell a joke, and my Aunt Peggy would come in. And I remember my Aunt Peggy said to my mother, I'm going to be shopping for peas. She said, how do you like your peas? And my mother says, well, it depends. And I mean, we just did lots and lots of jokes. And then a delivery man would come in and he would bring something, and we would maybe get up from the table to open the package, but we would then go back to the table, and then we would have uh, you know, a snack about 10 o'clock when my mother would have coffee and I would have milk and a chocolate cookie. And then we would talk some more, and then it would be lunchtime. And we would eat lunch, and my mother would be upset because I didn't finish everything on my plate. And I would be upset because she kept pestering me not to finish everything on my plate. And then my uncle would come in and he would tell me about how he was angry at my father because he didn't do his taxes right. And then um, someone would come in and ask if they could walk the dog, and we would say no because the dog would bite you, because the dog hated all human beings except for my mother. The dog and my mother had exactly the same personality. They hated everyone. Um, and then Daddy would come home from dinner for dinner. Mother, of course, would start cooking. We're still sitting at the kitchen table. Daddy would come home, and we would feed him, and then he would immediately go in the other room and watch television or read the paper or ignore us. And we would all sit and we would talk about what we were going to do the next day. And that was the kitchen table. And nobody left the kitchen table unless you went to bed or you took a shower or you went to the bathroom. That was it. But what we did do is we connected with one another. We were very much a family. And that's interesting because we were not a very happy family, but we were a family. And I think that this coronavirus is reinstating that. And I think that if you all can sit around at the kitchen table and tell jokes and talk about what you're going to do and where you're going to go and what's going to happen when this whole fucking thing is over, I think that you're going to be richer and better for it. And thanks so much for joining me in my crazy ruminating and thoughts about days gone by and what was good about it and what was and how glad I am that most of it is over. And thank you so much.